Rainbows for All Children has a vast network and community of passionate individuals who herald our mission to provide free peer support groups to youth around the world. We got the opportunity to sit and chat with some of them through a series of interviews. Welcome to the Rainbows Chats. After the storm, we shine.
My connection with rainbows is when I was about 7, 8 years old, my family moved to Oak Lawn, and my grandma heard about rainbows from St. Linus, which is our parish that we went to. So she signed me up because I had gone through recently seeing my mom start dating. She was about to get married again, and I had lost my great grandma. So there was the loss of somebody that I lived with, who I loved, and then seeing the transition of divorce and remarriage, which was really helpful because I was able to color and draw and have a peer support group. So I had it in 3rd grade at St. Linus. And as a parent now, to have my children in rainbows too has been really great to know that it's still around and they enjoy it probably more than I have, because they leave every Monday night with just a basket of snacks and their hearts are full and they're like, "Mom, that was so great. Let's go back to rainbows." But it's been now their 3rd completed season, and they love it. So I went through a divorce a couple years ago. My daughter, I noticed that she was transitioning, with some feelings and having a hard time from us selling her home to moving to a different school. So I was really in tune with just recognizing that she was going through a lot, and I couldn't, as a mom, be everything to her. And I remembered that when I went through my divorce, at the parenting class portion at the very end, it had mentioned rainbows. And I was like, oh my goodness, rainbows is still around. I've got to get her involved. So I went online and found our local rainbows group, signed her up, and it was great because also at the same time, my boyfriend, now husband, signed his kids up too. So we all started rainbows at the same time, which was really powerful for our kids because we both had 100% custody. So they were going through the feelings of abandonment and confusion and all the right emotions that they can be feeling. So it was great to have it, and that we're still doing it. And now that we are a blended family, it's been really helpful. When she has her peer group, it's a relatable factor for her that she feels that she can share most things and they get her. It's, even though I try to put into perspective that little Christine went through a similar situation where I grew up with my grandparents raising me. I wasn't living with my mom or my dad at the time. So I can relate to some abandonment, but the biggest thing for my oldest is that I can see her having a really happy attitude after she leaves. There's a bit of a weight lifted. She'll share on the way home, especially if I've sat in the prison group with the parents. I'll ask all 3 of our kids, what'd you guys do today? And you'll get little snippets, but when she starts to go on a tangent and rambling about it, then I know it was really good for her. Her heart feels good. We check in before bed. She journals about it, and you can tell whether it's a heavy day of just emotions, but it's always very lighthearted, and she feels good after rainbows. Not only was rainbows so important, but I'm a big fan of why not? If it's going to add value, if it's going to help, why not? I have friends that are divorced and remarried, and I often suggested, I'm probably a broken record, I'm send your kids to rainbows. Just go online and find the local location. But it really is that simple. And so I do think it set myself up for success. But when my dad remarried, my stepmom was really big into therapy, making sure that we then, as having a stepmom, was going to be open and we were going to have a good communication and all the feelings were going to be addressed. And I think that's another piece that parents should consider, because rainbows isn't therapy, but it's the peer support that kids need, and the parents as well. Because there were some days I go in there, I'm like, oh my God, let me tell you what I'm going through for the day. So it's a combination of all of that and understanding that you're not alone, because there was a lot of, I would say, adjustments, and kids were just cruel when I was growing up. I remember coming home and crying and feeling I was made fun of because I wasn't fitting in, because I lived with my grandparents. So when you have somebody else that you know, like, is on your, it's just like another club that you're a part of. You just add it, like, okay, if my friends at school don't get it, my Rainbow's friends will get it. You can choose when you look at your parents, whether they're together or not, the good qualities that they have, what type of parent you want to be, and pull from that. But I've had such healthy, like, relationships and marriages outside of my mom and dad, from my grandparents, still married until my grandpa passed away 2 years ago, to my dad and my stepmom, which had been married quite some time now, over probably 25 years, I'll say, that had that great example. So for myself as a stepmom, I don't consider myself as a stepmom. I'm mom, and my husband is dad to all of our kids, because we have full custody. They live with us every single day. And whether they need us to bend and flex, to listen, to give support, like, I'm very conscientious of the type of stepmom and mom that I've had in my life, and grandma, to know, okay, I got to fit the needs, and not every kid is going to take to whatever the teaching is or the style that you have to adapt to each of them. And they all have different love languages. So I would say get to know your kids and what they're feeling. And they might not all want to share, and you might be the bad guy someday, and that's okay. I've recommended it a bazillion times, I would say. I recommend it still to this day to my girlfriends that have been remarried. I have a friend who's going through divorce. And what I think is important to know is, like, how old are your kids? Because if they're still too little, like, you got to wait, but then find that Rainbows group. But I think at any age, no matter if you've been blended for a while or not, there's always life changes, and it could be very beneficial. And not all kids want to share, so you might not know what they're bottling up inside, but I do think it's very beneficial. It's free too, and try it out. Like, go for a session, see if the kids get anything from it, and ask them. They're going to be the ones that'll tell you. I just always think that the more support that we have as parents and our kids have, we're just going to be set up for success. And when trying to find a therapist and a counselor is so challenging these days, this might be a great alternative in addition to what you're looking for.
Thanks for watching this installment of the Rainbows Chats. Follow us on social media and join our mission of creating communities of young people who are facing loss and uncertainty, so that no one has to grieve alone. Together, we can create a world where after the storm, we shine.